Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back. Today, we're going to tackle a super important chapter for your exams, the world population.
I know. Exams are right around the corner. Feeling that little bit of pressure, that tension? Don't you worry one bit. Your favorite tutor is here, and we're going to make this chapter super simple for you. Chalo, let's begin. All right, first things first. Let's really understand the heart of this chapter with this one powerful idea. A country's real wealth, it's not gold, not diamonds, not those fancy buildings. The real treasure, it's the people. It's you, it's me, it's all of us. We are the ones who make everything happen. So you see, this chapter, it's actually a story about us. Okay, so let's jump right in. Think of the entire world as one big, happy family. But here's the thing about this family. They don't live evenly in their big house. Some rooms are just jam-packed with people, while other rooms are almost totally empty. So the big question is, where does everyone live? Get ready for this, because it's a mind-blowing fact. Imagine a giant building with 100 rooms. Now, picture this. 90 people out of every 100 are all squeezed into just 10 of those rooms. That's literally our planet. A whopping 90% of all the people in the world live on just 10% of the land. Can you imagine how crowded that is? So you might be asking, how do we even measure how crowded a place is? Well, we've got a simple term for that, population density. It's super easy to understand. Think about your classroom. If there are 50 students, it feels pretty full, right? Now take those same 50 students and put them in a massive playground. Suddenly, it feels empty. That's density. It's just the number of people living in a 1 square kilometer area. And the math for this? Oh, it's the easiest thing ever. The formula's right there. Population density is just the total population divided by the total area. That's it. Easy peasy. And that little number tells us so much about how packed a place is. But this all leads to a really big question, doesn't it? Why? Why are some places so crowded and others are practically empty? What makes people decide, yes, I want to live here? There must be some reasons, right? Well, let's find out. First up, we have geographical factors. I like to call this nature's invitation card. Think about it. People naturally want to live where nature is kind to them. Number 1, water. Of course, we all need fresh water, so places near rivers are always popular. Then there's the land itself. We love flat plains, like our beautiful Indo-Gangetic plains, because it's so much easier to build things and grow food. A comfy climate, not too hot, not too cold, also a big attraction. And finally, fertile soil. That's a must for farming, right? All right, next up, economic factors. Because, let's be honest, money matters, right? People will go where the jobs are. So, if a place has lots of minerals, you'll find mining jobs there. And then there are the big cities. Think about it. Why do so many people dream of moving to Mumbai or Bengaluru? For better jobs, better education, better opportunities. And of course, areas with lots of factories and industries, they're like giant magnets for people looking for work. So, all this talk about moving around brings us to a super important idea. What is it that makes someone think, okay, I have to leave this place? And on the flip side, what makes another place look so good, so attractive? This is the whole idea of what pushes people away and what pulls them towards a new home. Okay, so we've covered the where and the why. Now let's get into the how. How does a population actually change? Because the number of people in a place isn't fixed, right? It's always going up or down. Now, this part is super important for your exams, so listen carefully. Let's use an easy example. Imagine you go to a restaurant. The food is bad, it's not clean. These are push factors. They literally push you out the door. You don't want to go back. But then a new cafe opens up with amazing food, great music, good vibes. Those are pull factors. They pull you in. It's the exact same with migration. No jobs, bad living conditions, those are push factors. Better job opportunities, peace, a nice climate, those are pull factors. Simple. So, any change in population, whether it's growing or shrinking, happens because of just 3 things. Think of it like a family. Step 1, births. New members are joining the family. Step 2, deaths. Sadly, we lose some members. And step 3, migration. That's when some members move to a new house, either in or out. Births, deaths, and migration. That's the whole story. Okay, now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Have you ever wondered if a country's population has, like, a life story? Well, it does.
It's just like a person growing up from a baby to a teenager and then into a mature adult. Let's take a look at this fascinating life story of a country's population. Whoa, okay. I know this graph might look a little complicated, but trust me, it's not. This is what we call the demographic transition graph. All it does is show us how a country's population grows up. It tells the story of how a country goes from being mostly rural and agricultural to becoming urban and industrial, just by looking at birth rates and death rates. So let's start with stage 1. Think of this as the baby stage of a country. Here, you have high birth rates and high death rates. Why? Well, lots of babies are born, maybe for help on the farm, but at the same time, lots of people are dying because of poor health care and not enough food. So with high births and high deaths, they kind of cancel each other out. The population grows very, very slowly. And then comes stage 2. This is the teenage growth spurt, the population explosion. What happens here? Well, healthcare gets better, food is more available, so the death rate drops way down. But people are still having lots of babies because that's what they're used to. So you have a high birth rate but a low death rate. And what does that lead to? Boom! The population just shoots up like a rocket. And finally, we arrive at stage 3, the grown-up stage. Now the country is developed. People are educated, living in cities. Families become smaller. So the birth rate also drops down and becomes low, just like the death rate. When both birth and death rates are low, what happens? The population becomes stable. It's not exploding anymore. It has matured.
Okay, how are we feeling? We've covered all the main ideas of this chapter. Feeling a bit more confident? I bet you are. So, for the final step, let's do a super quick rapid-fire revision to make sure you're absolutely ready to ace this exam. Let's do it.
All right, first question, on your toes. Quick, name the 3 main geographical factors, nature's invitation card, that decide where people live. Come on, you know this.
And the answer is availability of water, landforms, and climate. See, I told you knew it. Simple, Hannah.
Okay, one last one for you, and this is a very, very common exam question, so pay attention. What is the big difference between push factors and pull factors?
Remember this simple rule. Push factors are the bad things that make you want to leave a place, like no jobs. Pull factors are the good things that attract you to a new place, like great jobs. Push makes you go, pull makes you come. Got it? Crystal clear.
And there you have it, the whole chapter, done. See, it wasn't that hard at all. You are now absolutely ready to score full marks on this chapter. So walk into that exam hall with your head held high. All the best, my dear students. You are going to do great.